Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm so glad that you tuned in. Today I am making a bunch of freezer meals. I am giving them to my parents and my grandparents and my aunt for Christmas this year. I don't know what else to get these people, so I'm just gonna fill their freezer so that they don't have to cook. A lot of the people I just listed off are not the biggest fans of cooking, so just having something easy, homemade, delicious, so they can just pop in out of their freezer and into their oven, I know will make them happy. So that's what I plan on doing. I have a variety of pans here, and the first thing I'm making is lasagna. I make a homemade sauce when I make lasagna. You don't have to. You very easily could just buy jarred sauce and cook up your ground beef or ground turkey or whatever you want to use. Or if you're vegetarian, you could cook lentils and mix it into your sauce. But I like to make a homemade sauce. So I have my big girl pot out today. 12 quarts. I'm probably going to fill this whole thing with sauce, because I'm going to make 3 full-size lasagnas, and then one of my grandparents has passed away, so it's just for my grandma, so I'm going to make her a smaller one. And then I'm hoping that there'll still be enough sauce that I can have a lasagna for this week to eat. So, first things first, warm up my pot. Get some olive oil. And get this all nice and toasty. And then I'm going to throw in all my onions. I cannot really tell you the amount of onions that you should do for your sauce, because I'm making a lot. Like I said, 12 quarts of sauce. This was 4 onions, but one had a couple rotten spots. So like 3.5 onions is what I did, but I would have used all 4 if that spot wasn't rotten. So I'm just going to let my pan warm up. And I'm going to toss my onions in, cook those, throw my ground turkey in, throw some garlic in, and I will touch back after I do all that. Alright, I am back. I just showed you a clip of the meat all cooked. Onions are in there, all cooked, and I added my garlic. Probably 4 tablespoons on the probably 4 tablespoons, not hefty. I had to think about it. I don't measure, I eyeball everything. So now I am going to put in 8 cans of 28-ounce tomato product. I have some diced and some crushed. I might even have a stewed in here as well. And I'm just going to pour them all in. I'll fill one of these big cans with water and pour it in all of them to get all the tomato product that's left, because you can see like there's a fair amount in there. Out of these cans, when I'm done, give this a really big mix, and then turn the temperature down so that I'm not burning my tomatoes. Some of my tomatoes are just tomatoes, nothing else. And then some of them are like garlic and onion, some have basil. I didn't season my meat yet, so I still need to season everything pretty hearty. Everything needs a good shake of seasoning. Ooh, my pot's getting pretty full. Hopefully I have a utensil I can use that's long enough to mix the bottom of that up. So then, just like I said, I filled this can about halfway. It's just to get like the majority of the sauce. Out of it, so that you're not leaving anything behind. And this is just like a half a can, so it's not going to thin it out so that it's not a good sauce. Plus this is going to sit for a while so that it gets nice and thick for our lasagnas. But we don't want it too thick so that you don't end up with raw noodles. So if you were making this for like a meat sauce for your freezer, you could just let it get as thick as you wanted. But you want to have a little bit of water, a little on the thinner side, so that those noodles can absorb up all of the liquid and not get too mushy and not cook all the way. So I'll show you the consistency when we get there, but you need it to be a little thinner than like a really hearty meat sauce. You don't want it all that hearty unless you want to cook your noodles, but I'm lazy. I don't do that. So I add a little bit of water to my sauce and it will cook in the oven. So I have turned this down. I mixed it all up to get all the turkey and onions throughout the sauce. I am going to add a tablespoon of onion powder. I don't normally measure, but just to kind of help you guys out with the seasonings. Yeah, probably a tablespoon and a half. Yeah, tablespoon and a half of onion powder. This is garlic powder. Again, another 1.5. That was a hearty scoop I put in there. I have some oregano. One, two, three tablespoons of oregano. This is parsley. Two tablespoons of parsley. Salt. One, 2 tablespoons. I'm going to taste this at the end and see if I need to add more, but I normally would start with about that much. And then just some pepper. I am giving this to people that think everything is spicy, so I'm just going to do black pepper. Normally I would add crushed red pepper as well, but I think I'd give my grandma a heart attack if I did that. So just some black pepper, and I did a tablespoon of that. I'm gonna mix this all up and just let it hang out for a few hours. Right before it's done, I will jump back in and show you how I make my ricotta cheese mixture. And I think my partner in crime, Amelia, has woken up, so you'll probably see her later too. All right, friends, I am back. I'm going to make up my ricotta cheese mixture. I always get the full fat ricotta, and I'm making a lot of lasagnas. I'm making 4 9x11s, and then a small, like, partial one. So I need a lot of ricotta cheese. And if we don't use it all in this, I will make like a noodle bake for us and put it in the freezer. Come on, ricotta. Come on, there we go. 1. And my sauce is looking pretty good. And in case you hear my little sidekick, she's having dinner right behind this tripod. Yeah, you are having little snackies. 2. And like I said, if I make too much of this ricotta mixture, it's no big deal. The dates on this is so far away, and I'll just make another noodle dish to use it up. We really like ricotta, so. Jeez. 3 of the really big ones from Walmart. What size is this? 32 ounces. And now I am going to season it. This is oregano, 2 tablespoons. Onion powder. About 1.5 tablespoons. We had our first snow today, and it's killing me seeing it out on the yard. Thankfully, it wasn't a lot, but ugh. Where do you guys live? Is it snowy where you are? Parsley, 2 tablespoons. Garlic powder. Probably 1.5 tablespoons would be my guess. Yep. How's dinner over there, ma'am? She's having green beans and meatballs, her favorite, as of right now. I'm only gonna do like 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt, just because I think ricotta's pretty salty to begin with, and a tablespoon of pepper. Because again, the only seasonings that are coming to this lasagna is the ricotta and the sauce, so we are seasoning those heavily. Now that we have all our spices in it, I'm just going to mix it all up. I find that mixing it is a little easier if you remember to take it out. I just took it out of the fridge, so it's still pretty firm. But if you remember to take it out, not room temperature, but just a little bit warmer, makes it easier to mix in all those herbs and seasonings. You're just going to mix this up until there's no seasoning pockets anywhere, and then it's nicely combined. I think this recipe is so great for freezer meals and like giving away as gifts. That's why I'm doing it, because it freezes so well. So if they don't want it right then and there, that's no problem, because it'll already be frozen. And it's just one of those convenient meals, so you don't have to cook. So my sauce is coming together. It's looking really good. It is thin. And I know I misspoke at the beginning because I forgot. I am not using my regular oven ready lasagna noodles. So I needed this to be thinner. So I know I was saying a thick sauce, and then I remembered and I was stumbling a little bit. But this is a thinner sauce, which is how we want it. Can you guys see? It's a little too thin for like spaghetti sauce. But the noodles are going to need the water out of the sauce to cook. I just tasted it. I think it tastes pretty good. I think it could use a little bit more kick, but I'm not going to add too much because, again, it's for my grandmother, so I don't want it to be too spicy. But I have this spicy Italian seasoning from Trader Joe's, and I was reading it. It's black pepper, salt, garlic, paprika, dried rosemary, fennel, crushed red pepper, cumin powder, and cumin seeds. It doesn't smell too spicy, so I'm just gonna do a couple shakes of it. If you have crushed red and you want it to be spicier, add until your heart's content. But again, my grandmother. So I'm just gonna do a few hearty shakes because, again, this is a lot of sauce. Mix this up and we are going to make our lasagnas. All right, friends, my daughter is singing a lot. Now that I'm talking, she's probably not going to, but she has been singing. I have my assembly line. I've got my meat sauce, my ricotta, the noodles, cheese, and then Parmesan cheese, which you can't see yet, but I will have it angled so you guys can. I am just going to put on some snazzy music for you guys to listen to as I build these so you can see how it's done. Hi friends, this is recipe number 2 for my families that I'm giving as gifts. I currently have a full pot of vegetable stock, onions, and garlic. I just wanted to give the onions some time to cook and marinate in there. I am going to use some black lentils for my protein. I have a lot of vegetarian and vegan family members and friends, so lentils. Because I'm making a lot, I'm just gonna kind of shake until it feels right. My guess is I'll use about a cup. I'm also going to add some dried quinoa. I want the lentils to cook a little bit more before I add the quinoa though. So I'm going to give those about a 10-minute heads up because this vegetable stock was already boiling. Alright, about 10-ish minutes have lapsed. I'm going to add my dried quinoa. Again, shake until it feels right. Nick loves my cooking technique.
So good.
Shake until it feels right. Then I'm going to add a big can of crushed tomatoes, a 28-ounce can. Ow! Burn myself in the process.
You still got so many snacks to enjoy.
I'm going to add some chopped spinach from my freezer.
Here you go.
Oh, baby bean. Is Dad just not Mom?
Yes.
Is Dad just not Mom?
Yes.
All you mamas know what that's like.
Yeah, what's the matter, baby bean, huh?
And then just some mixed veggies. The
What's that,
peas,
sweetie
green
pie?
beans, corn,
Listen,
carrots.
Oh, you thirsty baby. Little dribble baby.
Give it a mix, see how this is looking. So, because the quinoa and the lentils haven't absorbed anything yet, I think it's going to be okay. And in a little bit, I'm going to throw some seasonings in.
You just want
So I ended up with even more company today. Good Lord. I don't know if I even shared it, but I had my dad and then my brother and my brother again. But I put oregano, garlic powder, onion powder, parsley, salt, pepper. I didn't put anything too crazy in this soup because my grandma does not do spicy. But this is my soup, and I'm going to get 4 quarts and a pint for gifts, and then the rest we will eat at our leisure.